Did Da Vinci knew about ancient aliens? He left his research on his painting work. Various enigmas encircle Leonardo da Vinci's masterpieces. One of them being a speculated intervention of extraterrestrial entities, allegedly conveying a coded message to the artist for future generations. The following paintings are globally acclaimed and cherished for their awe-inspiring beauty. They might encompass secret codes that have been clandestinely intertwined with alien theories for decades. While these assertions remain unverified, ufology specialists assert that these extraterrestrial beings have interacted with our planet's brilliant artistic minds on numerous occasions, for reasons unknown. The Mona Lisa has perpetually perplexed art historians. What does her enigmatic smile signify? Scholars have been grappling with these questions for centuries. The iconic Mona Lisa smile appears to fade when directly observed, but it becomes visible when the observer's attention shifts to another part of the artwork. However, the true riddle lies in her eyes. Historians have unearthed letters and numbers under microscopic examination, which could carry countless interpretations. Speculations range from her being a wealthy Italian merchant's wife to Isabel de Aragon, and some theories even suggest she might be a man. Likewise, numerous conspiracy theorists suggest that the myriad details found in the Catholic artwork illustrating the Last Supper, hosted by Christ for his apostles, could embody covered messages. Yet, the purpose of these remains unclear. It's not widely recognized that the depictions in this piece are purely Catholic, hinting that the artist sought to emphasize that the narrative as depicted in the Bible might not accurately represent actual events. The portrayal of Mary with her child and a young Saint John was a popular theme in this era of art. Botticelli, Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo all created variants, but this one stands out due to a strange flying object in the background to Maria's right, unmistakably resembling a UFO. The artist apparently wanted this figure to be noticed and thus depicted a person, presumably a shepherd, observing the relic alongside his pet. Why is there an extraterrestrial influence on his work? It's interesting to note that many of his artworks have been scrutinized from hundreds of perspectives, with the Mona Lisa, perhaps the most puzzling and tantalizing painting, receiving special attention. The aforementioned work, also known as La Gioconda, is laden with enigmas and covered messages, including the recently revealed hidden alien, as well as doomsday predictions that become visible only under special UV lighting and magnifying glasses. The theory postulates that these artworks were influenced by alien entities aiming to elevate human intellect beyond the comprehension thresholds that humanity should have had during that era. In expanding on this, one might ponder whether similar influences might have shaped other works of art or technological developments throughout history, a notion that adds a fascinating layer to our understanding of past civilizations and their advancements. Leonardo da Vinci is perhaps best known for his paintings. The Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, The Vitruvian Man. His artwork featured heavily in Rian Johnson's recent whodunit Glass Onion, and his position in the pantheon of artists is sufficient that Eastman and Laird named a Ninja Turtle after him. Of course, in addition to his paintings, Da Vinci also pushed boundaries in science, engineering, architecture, and invention. He was the sort of guy who had his fingers in enough pies that, centuries after his death, his work is the subject of Dan Brown novels, and the Peacock original The Lost Symbol, and episodes of Ancient Aliens, also streaming on Peacock. Roughly 5 centuries ago, between painting masterpieces and inventing helicopters, Da Vinci found time to consider the movements of bubbles floating in a vessel of liquid. Countless people, all to a few drinks, have watched the bubbles in their beer or champagne with fascination, but what is little more than drunken musings for most of us became the source of an enduring paradox in the hands of Da Vinci. He noticed that when bubbles rise in water, some of them rise in a straight line while others take spiraling or zigzag paths. Despite half a millennium of effort, no one has yet been able to solve Da Vinci's riddle and explain why some bubbles saunter and others dance as they rise. Until now. According to a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, PNAS, Miguel Irrada from the University of Seville and Jens Eggers from the University of Bristol, may have solved Da Vinci's paradox once and for all. Since Da Vinci first reported the weird behavior of bubbles in water, experiments have continuously demonstrated that a bubble with a radius above, despite half a millennium of effort, no one has yet been able to solve Da Vinci's riddle, and explain why some bubbles saunter and others dance as they rise. According to a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, PNAS, Miguel Irrada from the University of Seville and Jens Eggers from the University of Bristol, may have solved Da Vinci's paradox once and for all. Since Da Vinci first reported the weird behavior of bubbles in water, experiments have continuously demonstrated that a bubble with a radius above about a millimeter will become unstable as it travels toward the surface. Through some as yet poorly understood process, bubbles above a millimeter in radius fall into a pattern of periodic motion 5 centuries worth of scientists failed to explain. The problem was that our modeling of bubble dynamics couldn't accurately reproduce what we observe in nature. Previous hypotheses suggested the spiral or zigzag motions were the result of instability in the wake of the bubble as it rises. Now, Irrada and Eggers have offered an alternative mechanism which appears to accurately describe the motion of bubbles as well as define the boundary which defines whether a particular bubble will wobble or not. According to their modeling and experimentation, once a bubble exceeds a radius of 0.926 mm, give or take a couple dozen micrometers, the surface of the bubble becomes unstable. As it moves through the water column, the flow of water deforms the surface of the bubble. As a result, water flows around the bubble faster on one side than the other, which kicks the bubble away from true. The changing shape and velocity also causes a pressure differential which pushes the bubble back toward its initial position, and the cycle repeats. The bubble is changed by the flow of the water and the flow of the water is changed by the bubble. The result is a two-step or a spiraling dance toward the surface. In addition to solving a centuries-old scientific riddle, the researchers state that their periodic motion of a bubble presents a new model of motion in complex systems which is fundamentally different from that of a solid particle. They can use these same models to better understand the impact of contaminants in a system or simulate particles which are in a state between a solid and a gas and, thus, interact in unusual ways. The answer to Da Vinci's bubble paradox didn't unlock the secret to extraterrestrial technology, but it does serve as a welcome reminder that even though we don't know everything, we can know more tomorrow than we do today.